Nice. So now we should be live already. And welcome everybody. Welcome to our webinar. Very, very interesting webinar. Super interesting topic. I might be a little bit subjective in this regard because, very nice topic. And my name is Georgi. And today we are going to talk about umbrella topic for today is game design and game development in Germany. And we have a guest from one of the German universities. I will introduce him shortly and introduce the program and university. And just for the newcomers, let me tell you 2 words about how we should proceed. So you can see the Q&A button in the bottom part of your Zoom interface, dear attendees. So it is already open and you can use it until the very end of the webinar. You can send in your questions using this Q&A button, and then we will address them as soon as our guest is done with his presentation. We will address your questions live. So that's why send questions and stay tuned. We'll get back to them for sure. And also keep an eye on the chat. We might be sending also some information relevant to you in the chat as well. So now let me start with my short part of the presentation before we move to this most interesting part. And we have our guest, Professor 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝘨 from 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵 or Darmstadt University of Applied Sciences. And he will talk about BA level program in animation and game. So gamers of all the world come here. So who is behind today's webinar? Let me start with that. So for those who don't know, we are My German University, and we are Germany's largest database when it comes to English taught study programs. We have over 2,600 degree programs, both bachelor level and also master's level listed in our database. You can even find some short courses and language courses as well. Our main goal, to put it shortly, is to help international students with their questions regarding studying in Germany, on their way towards studying in Germany. And we do this in 3 key ways. The first one is exactly through our study finder, which you can see in the front of your screens right now. You can see a small version of it, but when you go to our website of mygermanuniversity.com, you will be able to see the full version of our study finder with all of its filters, which you can use as much as you can. And I strongly suggest you to do so in order to narrow down the choices for your programs and then to choose the right program for you. The second way of helping you is writing up articles, of course, regarding studying in Germany. We have over 150 comprehensive articles on various topics when it comes to studying in Germany, whether it's a letter of motivation writing, master studies, living in Germany, etc., etc. Lots of topics, all for free. Please feel free to also familiarize yourself with them. And last but not least, we are also organizing webinars, lots of webinars, and we have webinars on scholarships in Germany, on studying in Germany, general webinar, UniAssist, Visa, or the subject webinars like the one that you are attending right now, but of course on different topics. It can be studying game design, for example, studying MBA in Germany, studying politics, philosophy, and so on and so forth. Quite a huge range. And you can sign up for our webinars already, which are planned. You can see them in our webinars page, and you can sign up for them for free and attend them for free. And my suggestion also would be to open an account on our webpage. It's also for free. By doing that, you will be able to unlock all of the options that our website is able to offer you. And we are based in Hamburg, in northern Germany, but we are also all over Germany and all over the world. And that's why we are also counseling in different languages. You can see some of them in front of your screens. So if you're interested also in German taught study programs when it comes to game design and game development discipline, so to say, you can also check out Hochschulkompass. There you might find some interesting programs. But if you are more into English taught study programs in this domain, then My German University and our study finder should definitely be your stop. We have several bachelor courses and also master's courses on this subject, and you can see that almost all of them are in English only, which means that you do not need any knowledge of German to get into these programs, which is great, especially if your German is not that good yet. So if you do not know what to expect when it comes to studying this discipline in Germany, for example, game developing or the game development, you can also visit our subject pages where you can find some general information to create a general picture of what does it mean to study this subject in Germany, what are the rankings of universities that are offering this subject, and other general details so that you know where you are aiming at. So it's a quite nice first step, so to say. And also when you're searching for the right programs, this is just a suggestion from our side. Take as many aspects as possible into account. Don't choose programs only based on the rankings of the universities that is offering it, or the fees, or the location of university. That would not be a right approach. Take everything into account, and even more, because this choice is quite individual, and you want to make sure that you are at the right place at the right moment. Also, what I wanted to tell you is that in Germany, there are two key types of universities: Universität type of university and a University of Applied Sciences type of university. And it can have some different variations also in German. And the key difference usually is in focus. So in case of Universität type of university, focus lies usually more on research and theory. In case of University of Applied Sciences, it goes more into application and practice. And last but not least, in addition to all aspects that I mentioned before, it's also, when you're searching for the programs in our study finder, it's also nice to be flexible with wording. And not to be too strict. By doing that, you make sure, or you drastically increase your chances of making the informed decision and being aware of what Germany is able to offer you in this particular regard. All right, so let us move now to the key part of our today's afternoon or today's evening, or however you wish. Maybe for someone it's morning. So Darmstadt University of Applied Sciences, you can see the location more towards the south of Germany, very close also to cities like Frankfurt, for example, well known. And it's Professor 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝘨, and he will talk, as I mentioned already, about the BA level program in animation and game. So let me hand it over to Professor. Let me turn off the screen and also enjoy this presentation.
Yeah, well, thanks for the nice invitation and for having me. Actually, we'll try to explain what's around, what you can do with animation and game, and with our program. Maybe first to start, the program is totally in English, so it's really open to non-German speaking people and interested. And but before I start actually talking a bit about the program and explaining what's it about, what are kind of the modules you are going to have, how long it will take you, and what's about our entrance examination and how to apply, I would start with a little trailer actually for some works we did during the last years. I think it's a very new one from the last year. And you will see actually that the program is named Animation and Game. So actually it's kind of, we have animation and game together in one program. But it's not meaning that you have to just do one or decide for one or have to do both. It's really quite open. It's animation and game because we'll be sharing a lot of skills, a lot of software we are using together. And also, as you think about if there's some more experience under you, you see that even game engines are now used to render animation movies. So there's a lot in common, which actually is part of our program. But before I start to explain too much, actually, let's give a short overview and show a short showreel we did where you can see different works together. Okay. So I hope the sharing is working. Okay, so going to directly into the presentation part. But you've seen actually a lot of different works we did during the last year. And you see it's a big variety of 2D, 3D work, games and animation. And it's totally possible for the students to focus on just a few of them. In a way, actually, it's animation and game. I've been on the Gamescom, which is a big game conference, or the biggest of the world, as I learned yesterday here in Germany. And they said actually that in the moment, actually, we have 3 billion people that are doing gaming, which is half of the population of the whole world. So you see that game is really kind of a cultural and also kind of a technical and kind of an entertainment format that is really sharing between people, connecting people and so on. And that's also why it's quite interesting to have this program here and to see what you can do with it. And it offers a lot of possibilities, as you see, if really 3 billion people on the world are gaming. There's a lot of content needed, and you've seen that at the Gamescom, there was a lot of games that were presented. On one side, big AAA games, but on the other side, you've also kind of watched a lot of independent work, and also work that is kind of connecting and trying to change the world or make it better in some way. So the program, as I said before, is named Animation and Game, which is meaning kind of giving the connection, but we have also students that just going for game or just going for animation, but most of them actually go for both because it also allows for getting more variety in the later professional life they have. Okay, so hopefully try to get to the next part. That's not working. That. In a way, we started our program actually, and in the way it is, you see below, it's kind of a cover here that is from 2014. Everybody said it's just they just want to play, and that playing and gaming is really part of our culture, really developed around 10 years ago. Yeah, which made it also gave us also where we started the program. A big wind in the back actually to do that. Yeah, that also gaming is not just entertainment, but it's learning. It's about finding out things, actually connecting, communicating, and so on. Yeah, and it's also that games are part in our schools. Actually, Minecraft is used in lessons and so on. Assassin's Creed is used in history to show what is happening in Egypt and so on. So it's really offers a broad range of things. Yeah, as a way, we're not doing just games on PCs, but also on VR glasses. Also, sometimes students do kind of board games that are connected with some digital tools. Yeah, just skip that. Yeah. If you think about, okay, what is game and what makes game, and you see that even gaming is a very broad range of different skills you can learn that make a game designer, make a game developer, or on the animation side, it's more animation artist, or looking more on the technical side, a technical artist. So actually we have arranged our program that everything of that is possible. So you can focus or find out in the first moment what is the thing you're gonna do later. Yeah. And so what is the game design? Does it look like, as you see here, or more a technical part, as you see here, so doing stuff with motion capture and so on. Yeah, so we have everything on our campus. Yeah, but at least the students are working a lot of time in front of computers, using different software, doing modeling, animation, programming, of course, using game engines and so on. So everything is more or less in. And what we try in our program actually to connect the left and the right part of the brain, because we think both is important. You have to know about kind of how to visualize things, how to concept things, but on the other side, have also the technical skills to realize it. Yeah, and bringing that together, mostly, hopefully, in the head of the students when they graduate later, actually is a little bit what our philosophy is behind that. And we follow a little bit the idea of John Lasseter in this way, which is kind of our CEO of Pixar and Disney. And he said at one time, art challenges technology and technology inspires the art. Yeah, so as I said before, the whole program is in English, and that has different reasons. One, of course, is that it's kind of an international skill, international profession. So our students can really go into any country they want. We have a lot of also game studios in Germany as Crytek, Deck13 or something like that, who also speak just in their studios, they speak English because they are so international, and that makes really sense. And on the other side, we're quite open to international students. I think we have around 10 to 20% of international students each semester. And also we have very huge amount of partners around the world, from the US over Ireland, UK, France, Scandinavian, Australia, and so on, and really try to foster and to bring our students out and also get a lot of students in, because we think it's really part of the culture we are living, that we have this exchange students from semester to semester. said before, it's a huge range of professions that are there in the game studios or in the animation studios. Yeah, be it director, artist, storyteller, program, and so on. It's just, it gives you a few examples of what you can do with it. It goes too deep when I explain everything, but there's a huge range, and really try to foster for each student to find out what is it she or he is aiming for and what is happening there. Yeah. You see also it's playing a lot kind of user experience perception. It's also some of research we try to do. Now artificial intelligence plays a huge role. In a way, what's important for us actually also to make team players for the students, because we know in animation and game, you can do a game or animation on your own. You have to be a team player to understand how everything is working. And that's also a huge part of our program, to work in a team and to learn that. We're learning and teaching actually use new technologies, game engines. You see a few examples here. Work a lot with Autodesk, with Blender. But what I say all the time, it's not about the software you're using, it's what you do with it. That's most important, what we try to teach to the students. And you will see we're also working with virtual reality, augmented reality, thinking about multiplayer things, also about education and where games can play a role in the industry or even in science or in medicine. It's a big part that is there. It's also real-time rendering. See an example here, which is kind of using photogrammetry for that. Just a few examples. As I said, VR plays a huge role. Yeah, looking at our program, we actually located at the Faculty of Media at the University of Applied Science in Darmstadt. And there are a lot of other bachelor programs that are kind of around us. They are sometimes connected, so we work together with them. And also we have kind of, I'm going to explain later, a format, a module which is named elective. And here it's really possible also to visit or to use and to choose electives from other partner programs. So if you want to broaden your horizon or want to connect with sound and music, motion pictures, and so on, that's everything is possible. And of course, we have also an own master, which is animation and game master, that is kind of building up on that. But we also have a master that's more in the transmedia part, which is expanded media. Yeah, so actually, it's kind of, we try to offer everything. And it's also possible, actually, we're working on that in the moment, to do your PhD with us, connected with other programs. We foster that. Okay, then here you get a few views from our campus there. So we have everything on the meeting campus that is later used in professional life and professional conditions. Using the same software, the same hardware of ideas. What is about that? Our bachelor program has a duration of 7 semesters. And we re-accredited our program now, and you can choose for 2 different portfolios. One is more technology and one is more the art and design. But of course, I think that around 10% that are different with both of these pathways, and around 80-90% are the same. The same is with our animation game. You see here it was a master's, which has technical direction and creative direction. So the master's again 3 to 4 semesters. And of course, here another master that is there. You see here different areas of profession when you go for game. Can be game design, can be producing, can be programming, can be QA, can be sound for games, can writing and storytelling, level design, and so on. Just a few examples to show what is going on. Same side on the animation part. We can go more artistic, director, or even technical animator. Everything is possible and open, and we try actually to build you up for that. As the game industry, there's a lot of different industry careers that are possible, and we also try to build them up in our program, and we have kind of teachers from all of them, so you can go on different ways here. And when we started our program, the question was how we can train a game designer, how that should work. We looked at different columns that are there. Actually, one is more the art side, design. Then, of course, we have computer science, technology. We have the producing, management. And, of course, we have theory and history, because if you do something, it's important to know and to understand what is already there and what is working and why, or even better, why not. And our first start, actually, when we started the first program, everything was in around, now 20 years ago. It defines as different disciplines and thought, okay, the best way would be to funnel them directly into the heads of the students. Yeah. So giving all the knowledge and really try to get it into the brains and you see what happened. Yeah, so that is something how learning is not working nowadays, especially in this very creative field. Yeah, which is not actually kind of what is happening today. Also in the mid-age, you see in the frontal lecturing is what is not working. So we switched very fast to so-called project-based learning, which is about learning through projects. But what I say even said is we don't give you answers. We first create the questions. Yeah, and if the questions are there, it's getting a lot more intense if you get the answers in that moment. Yeah, so it's a very rounded learning, which is around the key knowledge, understanding, and the skills, and it goes all around that. It's about reflection, getting problems, and so on. It's a bit like a journey through different things: discover, learn yourself, reflect, share, and lead, and so on. So that's a bit kind of this project-based learning. So we build small teams that are actually learning each semester, starting from the third semester. There's a project where actually the student team up from 4 to 6 students and build a little animation or game studio or both, and goes through the semester and come up with a final project in the end that is evaluated, that is shared. Some of the projects also then go to Steam or to itch.io and so on. We try actually that they get feedback from that and so on. And we even had kind of project that already, once they were done, actually tried to create a community and get feedback in the iteration process from people outside of the university. Yeah. So you see here actually, for example, how the first semester is scheduled. Yeah, so we see we have these two pathways, actually technology and art and design, that are a bit different, but you see technical art, basic technologies, game design, producing management, and design theory, the same for all. It's just kind of the difference in this two, which the program is a bit more going into the direction of programming, and art and animation is a little bit more on the creativity. Because we found out actually it's a lot of stuff for semester, a lot of things to know. And we think actually in animator, when going for more for animation, don't have the skills in programming C++. So that's one example why we decided to have this share here. Yeah. So second semester is pretty the same. We have more the programming side, animation side, and you see the rest is more going here. And the same semester, so-called project teaching as well. It's not enough, it's also enough uses together with people and teams. Yeah, third semester is important for people to, and that allows for things. Choose from a catalog, and you can decide to deepen your knowledge in one area or to look more broader on different things around you. Yeah, of course, actually research and development plays a role because we're an academic institution. So we also try to teach and to bring you in the skills and into the situation that you can work scientifically also on projects, on research and development. There also production management, again, plays a huge role. In the fourth semester, our students leave for an industrial placement, which they can do. And also they can choose to do industrial placement or do a study abroad. And that goes through a whole semester. Once they're back, actually, you see the next big project here. A little bit again about technology, AI behavior, and creative technologies. And you see again some electives you can choose for. Followed by the sixth semester, we have again the project, we have the elective. And here we already start with the research and development methods to prepare the bachelor thesis that is following the sixth semester. So the bachelor thesis has one big module where you do a bachelor thesis, which is the practical work, a little bit kind of connected to a theoretical documentation. On the other side, you build up a research and development project where you go more into research, and both of them actually play together and should be related to each other. So that's actually how that is working. Maybe just a few words on the animation and game masters. Actually, again, it's pretty the same. It's full-time program. Application is here. We are Union West, with our bachelor program for international applicants. So that's Master of Art, just to show you it's there. And normally it takes depending on which, when you have done kind of a 7-semester bachelor, it takes you 3 semesters. If you come from a 6-semester bachelor, it's 4 semester. So actually, you find everything on our website also, but here just a little bit example how that is working for applicants with international school leaving certificates, which I guess are most of them, actually have to follow the academic prerequisites. Is actually the Uni Assist is actually checking, actually, is it kind of the same as to our German things we have. If not, actually, it's possible to do also kind of a so-called, I think it's a Studiensemester, but that is unfortunately only doable in German. Yeah, but yeah. And then actually you do your application via Uni Assist, which is normally starting for the bachelor work on the 15th. No, the deadline is the 15th of April. It's starting, I think, a little bit before. That is one thing. And then actually you have to do kind of an artistic entrance examination where you have to provide a portfolio with 3 works you have done or you have collaborated in, which you also document what is your part in that part, and give you as a CV and a motivation letter. And also actually you look at your actually school leaving certificate. And it's kind of 2 steps in the artistic entrance examination. The first step is that we look at all of the papers and your portfolio. And if you decide that it's okay, you get an invitation to the second step, which is kind of a test we do normally for German students on campus. It's 1 day of work. For actually international students, it's possible to apply to do it remotely, but you can also do it in person on campus, but we also do it remotely. So you get also kind of some test work remotely and an interview, which is then normally done end of June. Yeah, and then actually we decide quite fast. Also, we try to be very fast, especially for our international students, because we know with visa that takes some time, and we try really to speed up the process that you can hopefully, actually, if it works, be there actually when the program starts, which is normally mid of October. We know it's in the moment, it's sometimes a bit difficult to get also visa stuff, because things are working quite, yeah, not so fast as we would like. Yeah, so you see here again, actually online registration, go for Uni Assist, and actually send that stuff into the 1st of June, and then actually it's stuff you do before. Yeah. So motivation should be clear. That's quite important for us. So why are you going to what is your idea behind it? We'll look quite carefully at it, because we want actually that our students already think about what is following, have a little bit kind of experience, or at least an idea what could be an animation and game professional life look like. Because we actually want to make sure that everybody's on the right way and on the right stuff. Yeah. We also have kind of you can also find all of that on our website, actually special kind of email address for our entrance examination. So we see here a little bit kind of, we collaborate a lot with the industry. You see here some companies that are around us, which we collaborate with, and also kind of people from the country, from these companies are coming to us and doing some teaching, giving electives and so on. Yeah. You see that's here an example of Germany, where the German games industry is located. So we have quite a lot game studios, but also we have a lot of students that go international. We have a lot of students working in the US or Scandinavian countries, also in the games industry. And sometimes they come back, and it's really kind of good to see. There's also a lot of animation studios in Germany. Okay, so I would say you see just here a few. It's also that our students are sometimes quite successful. So some parts that you see here from press articles and so on. That's something. In the best way, actually, our students, when they finish studios, they have around a portfolio from all of the projects they've done, which are normally 4 projects. So they have that and their bachelor work. So then in normal cases, they have around 4 or 5 works. Yeah, we also try actually to support building up the portfolio, building up the connection. And often it's also in the industrial placement that students are working in the companies where they later actually get the job. Yeah. So I would stop it here and just leave some time for questions, and maybe have a look also into, I'm just going to show the, or check to So we can open
Perfect.
the
So
campus, the website, and then we might have a look at the questions and answers, or what would be the best way to go with that?
yeah. So yeah, first of all, thank you very much. Very interesting presentation.
Yeah.
And yeah, the attendees you can see in the chat also. I just copied what Professor said to everyone also in the chat.
Okay.
You can see
Okay.
the email. And now
Yeah.
let us follow then the Q&A. There are quite a lot of questions. Let me start from the beginning. So question from Mohammed: how relevant does my bachelor need to be to apply for game design? And
Actually,
the second question is like, how much artistic background is needed for this program?
Yeah. Okay. It's a question actually to apply for the bachelor. You don't need to have any experience. Yeah, we're looking. Of course, you should have kind of an idea. In our entrance examination, we look for skills in visual communication, visual concepting, and so on. But actually, there has nothing to be. Looking at our master's program, actually, of course, we expect you to have some experience in this area. Yeah. So actually, artistic background is good. But it doesn't have to be too specific. Yeah, so we're quite open. We have students that start who already programmed a little bit, who also did some 3D work already, which is of course good to show that you can do it. But also we have sometimes students who have just done drawing stuff up to that point, maybe did some stuff in character design. Yeah. And it's also that in our portfolio, if you go on the website, everything is explained that if you say you need 3 portfolio pieces and 3 works, that is not meaning that one drawing is one work. One work could be the concepting of a character or different ways how you got there, making it more and more defined. And until maybe if you did this 3D sculpting and even some animation, that's one piece of work that could be counted like that. Yeah.
Okay, clear, perfect. Thank you very much for the answer. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, do you have alumni who are currently working in the huge companies like PlayStation, Nintendo, or etc.?
Yes, we have. Actually, we have a lot of people in Germany working at Ubisoft. We have Electronic Arts. We have smaller companies. We have special people working special effects or character rigging at ILM in Vancouver at the moment. We have some in Montreal. So it's interesting for me as a teacher. Actually, I try to connect to the alumni all the time, but I can't do. But sometimes when I'm in cinema and look at the credits of a game, actually, I see, oh, now there. And
Great.
so we see really. We will also try actually. Of course, we have a lot of students, and most of them get a job. Of course, actually, you have to be good actually to get at the huge companies in the end. But it's totally possible. It's not that it's you have to be whatever. It's really and the industry is really looking for people. Yeah, because actually, as I said before, the gaming industry is really flourishing at the moment. Yeah, not only in Germany but also Canada, UK, Luxembourg, and so on. They're really looking for people, and if you're good at what you're doing, and that's what we try to allow you with our program, there's a good chance to get that. Of course, you start in lower positions, in junior positions. You don't want to start as a senior position with a bachelor. But actually, they're looking for stuff, and I know from our students who are good, actually, they normally in 2-3 years they also get a senior position. So that's actually, we have a lot also at Crytek. I think at the moment we have a lot, and it's also for the IP. So it's really, and also we try to be actually all the time in connection with these companies. We talk to them, what is good, what is working, what is with our applicants, what is with our people doing IP, what do you miss, what do you think we could do better? Yeah. Also, we also get them back when they're in a senior position to teach with us. So that's really kind of a circle actually to try to do good connection to the industry. Yeah, because we know we have a responsibility as a university that our students or graduates can do the work that is needed. Of course, we also try for the students to help them to develop an own handwriting, which is sometimes something we're also looking for. So we don't understand ourselves as just kind of building up workers for the industry, but also shaping the industry and shaping them and building up new ideas, creating new game designs, new ideas in gaming, and so on. So that's why we do this research part, because we know actually we don't want to just do what mainstream is doing, but we also want to develop the culture, the design of games to the future.
Clear. Thank you. Perfect answer. Thank you very much. And now question from Sean. How many students do you have per intake on average? Can you hear me, Professor?
We take each winter semester, and we take around each winter semester, and we take around. It depends, of course, how many get through the examination. I would say we take around 40 to 60. That's kind of average.
Okay.
Yeah, and for applicants we have around, I think, 300 or something like that. That's and it's normally that I said before we have around 10 to 15 international students.
Okay, yeah, quite a big competition. So do students have an opportunity to do internships in the gaming companies?
Yes, they have. Actually, what we, of course, part of the game, I say, is that they should find their places themselves. Yeah, but we offer kind of a catalog of companies which already took something, and we also have kind of our students coming back from the companies. They explain what they did in their IP, what was good, what was talent, and we try really to prepare also the students for the application for the internship. Yeah, and that really works quite well. Of course, it's sometimes happening also students might do their internship in an international country. So we have doing our students doing IP in the US, for example, or something like that. That is also possible. Yeah, and we also have an international office that also offers support for doing their IP or doing an external semester into an international country. So we try, which is Erasmus programs and stuff like that. That really try to our outgoing students to support them to do that. Yeah, so really kind. Most of them actually already do their internship in big companies already. Or even some decide really I want to do it in a smaller company because that offers the opportunity of working in different fields at the same time. If you're in a big company, you're more or less kind of dedicated to one department where you stay all the time. So that's actually really whether the students are more want to dive deeper into one discipline or want to still stay open and learn a lot more.
Okay, clear, perfect, thank you. The next question, I think it was already clearly addressed, whether it's possible to continue with MA, and I think you said you have your own MA program and they can use that. Yeah, perfect. Professor, can you please repeat about C++? Do we have to have basics of it when applying?
No, you don't have. As you've seen, actually, you have two pathways. When you apply either for the pathway of technology or the pathway of art, animation, and technical direction. So you don't have to know anything. But it's, of course, for people going into game programming later or going deeper into technical direction, it's good to know about C++. But we do a very basic course for that. Allowing actually, for example, if you go and do some work with Unreal, which is using C++ as a programming, so you can use a game engine and can do, of course, prototypes with them. But it's sometimes helpful to know a little bit about C++, to write your own blueprints there, which allow actually to work a lot faster. Of course, you can work together with programmers, but we have the experience also as designers. When you know a little bit about programming, it helps you in the design process. You can fastly actually do a prototype. And that's actually what we do a lot. As you've seen, we have this project work, and we know from the games industry and also how to produce a game that it's not just thinking about it and making it, it's more iteration. You have an idea, you have to test, is it working? Is it fun to play this game? Is it fun to find my way through the labyrinth, as for example, and so on? And that's for that moment, and to test the game mechanic, it's important to do a prototype. And to do your prototype, and if you can do it yourself and know a little bit of programming, that's really very helpful. Yeah, you don't have to, but actually from our experience, it makes totally sense. But you don't have to bring anything with you. You have to bring an interest for you. If you kind of hate math, maybe it's the wrong program for you. Yeah, you should be open to technology and to a little bit to math, not too deeply, but actually you shouldn't hate that.
Great answer. Thanks, Professor. Next question is, back home, it is usually 4 years, not 3 years, to qualify for further master's degree. Will this program restrict further degrees?
No, the master's program, as you've seen, actually, we have different versions of our master program. We have either kind of the 3-semester master program, where they qualify with the 4 years degree, and if you have a 3 years degree actually you qualify for the 4 semester long master program. It's 1 semester.
Perfect.
But it's doesn't restrict you from taking.
Okay. Are there any samples for the second part of the entrance examination that you mentioned?
The second part of the entrance examination is that you get a little it's kind of a small test. Actually, it's about logical thinking and something like that, and a little bit kind of how to visualize a 3D space there. So just that, and then you get some tasks, which is kind of developing drawing small animation on one side, or building a storyboard to a subject, doing a character design for a subject, and so on. So really small exercises, I would say. Okay. And it's not so much about the quality, the technical quality of the exercises you're doing. It's more about that you see that you can think in concepts, and that you have ideas, and that you can use visuals to communicate in a way. So it's not rocket science in a way.
Okay, perfect. Now, more a bureaucratic question. You mentioned portfolio, and should it be sent to UniAssist, or later it should be sent directly to you?
No, that is later, actually. You first actually give all of your administrative stuff to UniAssist, which checks actually is it available, or is it checking and matching our German things, and the portfolio that can send then later directly until the 1st of June. Yeah, okay. So actually for the portfolio, normally you have a bit more time. Yeah, UniAssist is important that you send it on I think normally it's the 15th of April where it has to be there. Yeah, so you have to make sure that all of your stuff you have done actually is ready there. Yeah, I know that's sometimes difficult because you get your graduation later, but that's unfortunately not possible. UniAssist, because it needs some time. So actually you have to make sure that you get your certification the latest on the 15th of April. Okay. But you can also write to UniAssist. They have the website. There's a lot of explanation on that website. So actually that should help you. And we also have actually, you find that also on the website, we have our administrations for this administrative process. You can connect people at the international office that also help you there.
Okay, perfect. And I'm also just adding some articles regarding UniAssist in case you are interested, yes. Which you read from us. Okay, perfect. What kind of collaboration do you have with EA? Could you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yeah, actually, that's kind of, it goes back. Actually, we have one of our professors has been working there quite intensively. Yeah, and that built up kind of a collaboration we have. So sometimes people for electronic arts are coming, giving a talk, actually, or doing an elective, teaching through the whole semester, or explaining how portfolio is done. So that is part of that. And of course, we have our students doing an internship there and so on. Yeah, and that's kind of, and it might also happen that actually students do their bachelor thesis together with a game company like Crytek, Electronic Arts, or Ubisoft, that they work in the company already and do something like that. Yeah, so there are a lot of different collaborations that are possible. We're a bit aiming for the future also maybe to connect a little bit on research work for games, which big companies, but that's a little bit kind of the future. We're looking also a little bit more on this kind of game studies work and how that could be connected to big companies.
Perfect, clear. Some more questions left, and then we can call it a day. As a student, is there any software or tools needed for the program, or will it be provided by the program?
Yeah, actually, we provide normally everything you need. Yeah, we have labs on our campus, so we have everything you need, all of the software. As a student, you can use all of the Autodesk software for free. Yeah, so actually a lot of software is given for free. So actually you can work on the campus and also use the hardware there. But what we see with our students normally from the 2nd or 3rd semester, they have their own notebooks. The main reason is that they have to carry the whole data back and forth with them around. That's why they have it. But we also provide student workrooms actually. So that could be used 24 days for 24 hours and 7 days. Yeah, so that our teams are sitting there and can work together on campus all the time. And we also support that with some hardware and also software that is needed. There's some support, but some software sometimes the students buy themselves for the Adobe products, for example, which is but we have them on campus. So if you want to use them on campus, it's okay. If you want to use all the Adobe at home, you have to. But for students, it's very cheap. It's around, I think, 10 euros a month or something like that. So yeah, but we provide with most of the stuff, and the special stuff is also there. We have VR glasses, we have computers, we have a motion capture studio, we have all of the sound equipment. Yeah, so everything can be rented there. So it's actually where we try to provide you with everything you need to make a profession again.
Perfect. Very good. Thank you. Now comes a bit longer question. So if I applied and got accepted into the program at Darmstadt, but I'm still enrolled at a different university in Germany, studying a different major, can I transfer universities and enroll into Darmstadt? I'm an international student.
Yeah, actually, it depends. If you've seen actually the modules we have. If there is something similar you already did, it's possible. Yeah, you have to apply for that, and we check that. Is it really the same? Yeah, and it's totally possible. For example, if you have done kind of a computer science program already, to accept some of the basic courses we have in game development and game programming, no problem. Or if you come from a design university, actually, it's also possible. The basic design, actually, what is happening, color and stuff like that, it's also possible to do that. Yeah, we offer that sometimes, but we see that the students are even doing it twice with us again because it's done from another perspective. Yeah, but it's possible to get that done.
Yeah, best thing would be to provide more information to your attendee regarding your background, what you are doing, then you can make some conclusions. Yeah.
It's normal that you apply for that, take you in, and then you apply actually that we could get something counted. Yeah, but we see that also sometimes in the application already, so that in the interview we already can start talking about that. We did that already. And we also had sometimes students coming from other game programs. But we said, okay, it might be possible that you start already in the third semester, and maybe you do this module from the first semester you have still to do, but you can actually start out the program, not from the beginning, but for example, from the third semester.
There. Okay, perfect. And Professor, the question is, do the students on this program also study languages like Java or Python or etc.?
Yeah, C++ was just one example because we have that as it's in a way what I said before. We're not teaching directly software or something. It's more important what you do with it. So we actually teach the way of programming. Yeah, so that as an example, in the moment we're using in the first semester C++, we did years ago, we did different ones. It might change also, but also during your program, we might choose different things. If you go for Unity, C# is what you need there. Yeah. And of course, for our technical direction program, doing some programming, writing plugins for Maya, whatever, or something like that. Of course, we use Python and so on. And we have seen we have different courses on different perspectives in the overview. And that's actually where we actually teach different languages. Yeah. So mostly in the moment it's C++, C#, it's Python. But it's also, it's different. It's what is needed. And we try to provide what is needed. And that's also what you see in our project work. Yeah, maybe for one project, it's better to do it in Unity and to use C#. Maybe another project, better to do it in Unreal, using then C++, or maybe use totally different one, or you even can use the CryEngine, where it's also kind of a different language you're using. So it's really, so that's why we try to teach the basics that you can adapt to each situation, which is the same later in your professional life. You don't know in which studio you're ending up, which software you're using, which programming language you're using. So that's for us very important to make you there very flexible. Yeah, and we also don't know what is happening in 3 years. So which might be, is Unity still there? Is Unreal still there? Is Maya there? Is Blender there? We don't know that. Yeah, so that's why we really try to teach the basic approach that you can actually adapt to whatever is coming to you later.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, clear. Thank you, Professor. And I see that we cleared the board. And once again, thanks a lot for a very interesting presentation and also very interesting Q&A session. All questions were addressed really comprehensively. And I'm very thankful, and I'm sure that attendees are also thankful for that. And also attendees, thank you for your interest, of course. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your questions. Hopefully you get it into the program. And yeah, if you have any questions, Professor also shared the email in the chat. please use this for any further and more detailed question. And if you have any general questions when it comes to studying in Germany in general, of course, you can also get in touch with us and read our articles, etc., etc. And yeah, so with that was all for today. Once again, thanks a lot, everyone, and have a nice rest of the day. Take care and bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.